Good morning. And let's see if I can get this right this morning. Okay, so I'm not going to say something stupid like Saturday is going to be Chicago Day, and then I turn the cup and it says New York, like the mistake I made yesterday morning. No, Saturday is going to be New York Day, I guess, unless we have a disaster with the cups. Now, what do we got going outside today? It's cloudy at the moment, but the weatherman is predicting nice weather for today. Now I said weatherman. I should have said weather reporting individual. I don't want to offend anybody. I try to be as politically correct as an old man can be. You know, you get sort of set in your ways, and if it's the mailman, the milkman, the weatherman, you just sort of, that's not politically correct, and I don't mean to offend anybody. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't tell this story because it might show my, I don't know what you would call it, male chauvinism. Oh, some time ago I was going to Toronto to visit my brother. Actually, it was Hamilton. And we landed at the Hamilton airport. And then later I found, and I was thinking, what a nice landing that was. You know, being a pilot myself, like I do have my pilot's license, and now I could never fly an airliner, but I do have my pilot's license. So I know a good landing from a bad landing. You sort of know what to watch out for. And this was a really nice landing. Everything was just smooth, and anyway, it turns out it was a lady pilot. Yeah, I was, I don't know if I was surprised or what. I shouldn't have been surprised because when I was taking my flight training, oh my goodness, this must be back in the dark ages now. Anyway, one of the instructors was a gal. And yeah, she turned out to be pretty well known here in Canada. Yeah, Rosie Bjornson, I believe her name was. Anyway, she did really well. She was quite well known. I remember one time I was in at the flight school, and she came in, and came in with a student, and she was complaining to the mechanics that they when they were doing their, I don't know, they throttled back, and the engine died, so they had to do a restart. So I'd never had that happen, but so I guess it could happen. Yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here, and this is going on, and we're just not getting to what we were actually doing here. All right, let's roll back and see how it is we got to this point here, and I guess we can take this apart afterwards and see how it came out. Okay, I was thinking about painting these pieces here this afternoon, and you know, we were going to paint this wall here because it's going to be maybe visible, and yeah, it is actually. And then I was remembering, you know what, there's another piece almost just like this that has to go on top of here. And it is the K3, which is this piece right here. And we may as well just quickly take it off here. I'll trim it up later. Okay, it also has a visible wall because it's going to go on top here somehow. This is obviously the first time I'm trying it. Yeah, so you can see that it's going to be visible, so that has to be painted. I don't think we need to worry about painting the ceiling, if you want to call it a ceiling. I think it's called something else on the ship, and it seems to me that a viewer once did tell me what it's called.
It's not called a ceiling. It's called I forget. Doesn't matter anyway. So we're gonna have to paint that. So I may as well get this cleaned up and do that at the same time. And there's another piece here, an E5, which is this piece right here. Okay, and I imagine that would be a good idea to glue that in place first. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do that, but you know what? In about 10 minutes I have to get the episode 1226 posted. So yeah, I'll be back a little later this evening, or maybe later this afternoon. As you can imagine, my neighbor did not come over for coffee at 3:30 like he normally does on Friday. But the good news is that I have absolutely no symptoms of anything. I'm just feeling really good. In fact, my voice, which was a little bit hoarse first thing this morning, is feeling fine now. So I obviously don't have yet what he's got. Yeah, fingers crossed here. Okay. The comments are starting to trickle in from episode 1226. And this does not say Saratoga. It says South Dakota. I apologize. I'll get it right next Friday. I hope. Okay, now I am pretty sure that our E5, which is supposed to go on the front of this piece right here and drop down, and then it sort of fits down. You can see there's a little door there. I think that this can be fastened on now. I would think anyway, and then we can still drop this into place later after we paint everything. That's my thinking anyway. I'm going to give it sort of a dry run. I'm going to nip it off here, and we'll clean it up. And just maybe tack it on in place and then see if this will still fit in. Okay, now when I was cleaning off the piece of sprue that was attached right there, you can see there's a little bit of a divot that I've got going on. But I think that probably in all likelihood, we're not going to see it because the extra thin is probably going to meld the plastic there. Now, what I'm thinking of is, let's see what would happen if we were to, I'm sorry I'm getting my hands in your way there. Could we put this in like this? Okay, it does not want to go down. Do you notice that? So just let me get rid of this other part here. Okay, if we put this piece down tight onto this piece the way it's supposed to go, this does not seem to want to go in there. Maybe if I was to shave a little bit off the bottom here. Oh yeah, you could almost see like there's something there that I kind of missed. Where's my file? I don't know if that's going to help or not. Okay. I suppose what I could do is to take this off and put it down. I'll just recompose here. Okay, so now I can put a little bit more pressure on this. If I can fit it in the right spot here. Just get it to lock into place. There we go. Okay, now we'll try this again. Yeah, that's considerably better. Now, if it would be possible to maybe just put a little bit of extra thin right on the top there, and hopefully it would only wick its way along the top and not down the sides. I think this is going to actually fit pretty good. And we would know then, when we take this apart, you know, everything's going to be lined up. Should I try the quick setting here? No, the quick setting runs and wicks a little bit worse than the... Okay, now let's just do just a tiny little bit here. Now, is tiny little bit and Ron Calverley, can you say that in the same sentence? Okay. I'll hold this down, push this in. I should really have the macro lens on. What's the matter with me? Okay, probably about 5 minutes has passed here now. And we've got to try and push that in just a little bit. Now, I'm pretty sure that when we try to lift this up and separate it, it's going to come apart like it's supposed to. Yeah, it did. I wonder if I could maybe now just let me get this out of the way here. Okay, I think I can probably do this off camera. Okay, it's fitted down there pretty good now. And I did glue it off camera, and you can see where the sprue goo kind of oozed its way out of the joint. But I think what I can do is that after this glue dries, I can just sort of sand that corner. I don't know if I should slightly round it over, or should I maybe just have it go square right across. I think it was intended to be basically square. Now I'm noticing that here on the sides it's kind of a bit of a flange, you might say, sticking out on the side there. I don't know if I should try and, file that too, and I suppose no, I think I better just leave that alone. We'll just get the top. Well, you know how it is. June, July, nice long summer days. May as well enjoy them while we can. What do we got here? 8:30. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave this until the morning, let it get good and hard. And then it'll file and sand a lot better. I'm tempted to want to just drag my file across it right now, but I think I better wait until it's dry, completely dry. And we'll just make sure that it's seated down there is where it's supposed to go. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning. And I imagine that all the girl viewers that I've got, or did have, are mad at me now. Yeah, sometimes I'm not very politically correct, am I? Now, we're going to take this apart. There we go. And I can quite well imagine that this connection here is probably pretty strong. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and recompose here and see if we can't just sort of make this look like it was never glued together. Now, it's possible that it's not going to work out, because it could be that there's going to always be a crack no matter how much how much I try to sand this down. But I think that we're probably going to be able to make this look like it was just one nice piece here. Well, let's stop talking about it and maybe mount this in some kind of a vise so that it always stays in the right place for the macro lens. Where's the macro lens? Here we go.
let's stick on the macro lens. Okay, I think these glasses are strong enough to be able to see up what I'm doing here, although maybe I should have these ones on. Yeah, that's better. All right, let's get some more light going on here. And just check the monitor. That looks all right, I think. And now what we're going to try to do is, first of all, there's a little black dot right at the front of this thing. You can't see it on the green cloth. If I can manage to keep this thing more or less centered on that, it should work out. Now, we just want to sort of take this down here. I'm going to use my medium sanding stick here. Now we'll use the fine. Now I don't want to take off the detail of that little door that's in the front. Now, I think I mentioned this before. Where's the little mark there? Okay. Now, should I try to get rid of this? Put it on the other side there. Just get rid of what looks like a little burr. Okay, now I do believe that we've got that pretty good here. Okay. We will go to the computer and see what I really got, because you have seen it already way better than I have. So let's just go take a look at the computer now. All right. Now, there are places that I do not need to put the paint. For instance, this area right here is going to be covered up by this part right here. And this part right here is going to be covered up by this part right here. And then we've got areas right here that are going to be covered up by parts. So I don't need to paint in there. And in all likelihood, these gun tubs are going to be
I don't know if I'll be painting what I'll be painting them. They might be different. Well, they're going to get spray on them anyway. Anyway, let's just sort of get at it here, and I just want to paint the insides here. I may have to give this 2 coats. Now this paint that I'm using right now is unthinned. And the idea is so that if there's any of it is seen from the inside. Now there are, a lot of this is just plain not going to be seen, and that's all there is to it. Now, I don't need to worry about trying to get in the windowsills or whatever you want to call them, because the spray from the other side, when we do the other side, it's gonna take care of that. You know, I was just realizing that I don't think I need to do a second coat on this. Excuse me, a second coat, because you know, this area in here is going to be so dark anyway. If it was not a perfect job, no one's going to see it anyway. Now, I realize that's maybe not the best way to look at it. Guess I should check the monitor, make sure I'm holding this thing so you can see it. And I'll do the deck part last. Oh, I phoned my neighbor up. Remember, I was saying that he thought he might have the Omicron virus, and he was pretty worried about it. But I phoned him up just to check on him, and he was saying that he's feeling about 50% better. And he was talking about maybe going to the gym and doing some light exercises. So if he wants to do that, I guess he's probably feeling a little better. Well, he must be feeling a lot better, because I wouldn't want to go to the gym no matter how good I felt. Okay, now I know that might be a little bit blotchy, but like I say, once it's covered up by the other part, we're not going to see it anyway. Okay, now we'll just do the floor here. Now there are little positioning holes that the stuff has to go in. I don't want to accidentally fill those up with paint. I'll just sort of try and dry brush it almost over top of these holes. And if the deck is not perfectly painted, well, that's all right. It's had sailors tramping all over it with their boots, or whatever it is sailors wear. Could have maybe used a wider brush for some of these areas that are bigger. Now once this dries, it is going to even out a little bit. All right, what do we got here? It's a little bit sparse right here. And right here is you will be able to look straight down. So, all right, let me just adjust this for the light here for myself. All right, check the inside wall. Does it look like there's any place I missed there? I don't want to waste a lot of time here. I can't talk and hold the paintbrush in my mouth at the same time. Okay, we'll let that dry and see how it looks. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and do these other pieces much the same way. Now, is there anywhere else that I'm not going to be able to reach with the airbrush on this thing? And obviously we don't need to do there. I'm only going to do where the airbrush is not going to go. Now, we were going to do this wall, remember? Now, isn't being able to go fast forward and skip ahead a wonderful thing when you're watching my videos? Because all right, how's that look? Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the rest of these pieces now, much the same way. And there's no use videoing it because it's basically going to be a repeat of what I just did already here. and I realize there is only so much that the viewer can stand here. So let's just take a bit of a break here. Okay, I think that what I'm going to do here is take a bit of a break, as I mentioned, and we'll let this completely dry. It's getting there. Still a few little shiny spots indicating that it's still wet, but yeah, I think once this is dry, it's going to be okay. I'm going to call it quits for today's episode, though, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for watching.